Hello, my name is Chris, and today we're going to talk about the early childhood development of the toddler. And one of the areas we'll start talking is about the nutritional requirements of a toddler. The toddler, as we know, is between the 5, some scholars will say 3 to 6 years. And at this point, we know that they had all the nutrients they need, the vitamins. We make sure the vitamins and minerals, B12, vitamin D, vitamin C, they are well represented in the meals they have. The calories, this child run around all the time, always running around, never tired, all through the day. We'll make sure that they get the number of calories they require. It's very important. The protein is very important for the growth and development of a child. The veggies, we'll make sure they have this nutrition. And one area where some parents make some mistake is that if you think your child is beginning to gain a lot of weight, you don't reduce the calories you give to the child. Well, because this child runs around every day, so the sports and running around will help burn off some of these calories, but you don't reduce it because they need it for their development. It's very, very important we know this. And also we make sure that this child is hydrated at all time, because they tend to run around a lot, sweating, urination. We'll have to make sure that these kids are hydrated every time. Also, I want us to note that this at this stage you give them small meals, figure meals, and you introduce each meal one at a time. You don't pack everything once. So we're going to talk about again the development and the growth of a toddler. Eric Erickson, he talked about the toddlers and about the psychological development, talks about autonomy, shame, and the doubts at this stage of life. Because this child begins to take notice of the environment, become their self, have this basic self-control over their self and environment. At this stage, the child begins to be self-aware and begin to try things. And when they keep trying things, they're going to be wrong, they're going to be right. It's very important on the way we manage, especially those ones they did wrongly or unsuccessful. Your reaction really matters and very important to the child's development, because if you manage this stage very well, the child is going to come out with a sense of self-control and adequate willpower. And if you are unsuccessful, fortunately, it's going to affect the independence and the fear conflict, lack of self-control on this child. So it's very important we manage them very well here. And also, you talk about the Lawrence Goldberg talks about the moral development. He said that children view the world as in a selfish way. It's all about them. Everything revolves all about them. And when they do this thing, they do some things. They look forward to your reaction, the punishment. So when you are correcting these kids, make sure that they know the reason why some things they did are wrong. Is very important for their development, so that will make sure that these children, you don't try to correct a child and end up spoiling the child's development. Is very important. So we're going to talk about the safety. This stage safety is very extremely very important at this stage of a child's heart. There needs to be a 24 hours whenever constant supervision of this child. It starts from the car. These children will be around 30 pounds. Make sure they are adequately seated in the car. When you are moving, the belts are there, they're facing the front. Make sure whether they're in the house, there's no electricity. And they talk about, especially those living with their grandmother, that the medical medications are out of reach of children. They are written on most of this medication. We need to keep it out. There's negligence is another important area that a lot of parents lack You make sure that your child has no point in time is neglected. Don't leave your child in the car to quickly buy something on the store. Don't leave your child upstairs to quickly pick something outside of your car. You leave the child in the house. Don't leave your child at the playground. You want to quickly buy something, buy a drink. These are areas the child sustains a lot of injury. These are the negligence, common negligence you see. We want to make sure that we don't do these things, and the environment the child is, make sure is free from any object that might harm the child. It's your responsibility to make sure that this child is safe. Also, we're going to talk again about the socialization part of this child. At this stage, the child basically looks up to you for guidance and correction. You're going to make sure that this child learn how to share the toy with the friends or their age mates. Make sure they share they know how to share. And also there's a lot of games you can introduce. There are some nurses even do on the hospital, some of them, the Candyland, Don't Break the Ice, Sneaky Snacky Prayer game. There's a lot of this game you can still get around that will help. So in all, we always know that these toddlers are always watching and they are always learning. So I wish your toddler a good growth and development. Thank you for your time. We'll see you some other time. Thank you.